Alright, today on Fix and Flip, we are going to take the brake booster off of a 2004 Pontiac Grand Am. It's pretty easy. It's 4 bolts inside the car and then 2 bolts on the outside. You may or may not have to take your master cylinder off, depending on if you have a 2.2 Ecotec in it or the 3400, depending on which motor you have. Alright, to start, I'm going to go ahead and take this air box off to get it right out of the way. For that, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver. When you're doing this in the junkyard, you don't really have to worry about the braking stuff. Then I'm gonna take the bottom part of the air box off. It's gonna take a 10mm socket. It's 2 bolts that go to this bottom part of the air box. Two bolts are, one's right down here, one's up here in this corner. The reason you want to take the air box off is because you don't want to take your fuse box right here and slide it out to move it out of the way. And how you do that is there's 2 little metal clips on each side that you open up a little bit. And then underneath, you can put your hand right underneath and feel for where you can push up on it a little bit. It's like a plastic piece, almost like a button. You push up on it and it slides right out like that. So now that I got that off, I'm gonna disconnect anything going to the master cylinder. And on this car, I'm going to cut some of these clips that are holding the wiring harness in place. If you're doing it on your personal car, these come right off with a screwdriver or a pair of pliers. Alright, next I'm going to take a 12mm wrench and break these two brake lines free. Alright, it's these two brake lines right here in the master cylinder that you want to break free. Then you're going to have two bolts on this side, but on one stud. And the top bolt is just a bracket that's holding your wiring harness up. So you take these two 15mm bolts off, and there's an identical one. That's just one bolt on the other side of this. And then once you get those two off, we're going to pull the master cylinder off just to make it easier to get the brake booster to come out and have more room. And I will show you on the inside of the car what you're going to have to do to get your brake booster all the way off. Alright, this is what it looks like with the master cylinder off. These two bolts right here is the only thing holding it on, and them two brake lines. Pretty easy to this point. Go ahead and take your hose off, and then from that point you're pretty much ready to go inside the car under the dash and start taking it apart from the inside. Alright, once you're down here by the brake pedal, you're going to want to take any of the plastic that you have off, because where you want to be is right up here. In my case, it's going to be one of these that you just pull off, one of these clips, and then the rest are going to look like 7mm screws that go in there, and it should drop right down. Ones that look like this. Alright, once you have that plastic off, you can see the back of the rod for your master cylinder, and it's going to be them 4 gold bolts. One's up in the top right corner, and one's going to be, you move this insulation right here, it's going to be right there. So that bolt, there's one up in that corner and this corner, they're all 15mm. And then to get your rod disconnected, it's just this clip right here. All you have to do is, with your finger, lift up on it a little bit, and it's going to pop right out for you. Sorry about the shaky camera. See, it popped right out of there. This clip right here, you just lift up on. I'll show you. You lift up on this part right here. Put your finger down in here and lift up, and it'll pop right off of there. Then there's this. It slides right off just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on them 4 bolts, and then I'll go back to the outside of the car and let you watch me pull the whole brake booster right out. Alright, here we are back on the outside. And 4 bolts taken off. Now you pretty much just going to have to wiggle it out of here. More than likely you're going to have to move some wiring harnesses out your way. now I'm struggling with this bracket on the side of the head where you put a chain in it to pull the motor out. So what I'm going to do is fold the bracket for the fuses, and we'll fold that over a little bit. And if you're doing this on your car and you need to fold that over, it's not a big deal, just to bend it back into place when you're done. There you have it, there's the brake booster. That's what the back looks like. And 4 bolts that I was talking about. Then there's this rubber seal that just keeps air and water out from getting into your car.